We have some new information about Ralph Mirabal, who was sentenced to 8 years in prison today. Police have called Mirabal one of the worst graffiti taggers they have ever dealt with. Here's a quick look at the facts in this case. He was arrested in June of 2008 after a tagging spree that included Driscoll Children's Hospital and some 30 homes and businesses. He agreed to a plea deal last November that required him to join the Army and to pay restitution. But Mirabal never joined the Army, and last May he was re-indicted on that original charge against him. And since May, he has been indicted 2 more times in connection with other tagging incidents around the city. Now, one of Mirabal's trials was supposed to start today, but as our Melissa Schroeder reports, Mirabal and prosecutors agreed to a plea deal.
2243B. As part of a plea agreement, Ralph Mirabal admitted to tagging dozens of local businesses, homes, even a church. Judge Sandra Watts sentenced him to 8 years in prison and ordered him to pay more than $5,000 in restitution. After the sentencing, Judge Watts offered the 19-year-old serial tagger some advice.
You are a young man. You have to make different choices, and if you don't, then literally you're going to get the opportunity to live in an institution and live in uniform. Do you understand that, sir?
Some of the victims of Mirabal's tagging sprees also got to sound off in court Monday afternoon. District Attorney James Sales read some of their statements.
Time is now for him to stand to evaluate his self-worth in order to redirect his life's future if he is ever going to contribute anything positive.
One member of All Saints Episcopal Church addressed Mirabal face to face. She says the church forgives the teen, but they still want to see him face punishment.
Pray for Mr. Mirabal today at our midday Eucharist, and we will say that I'm sure that the court recognizes that forgiveness and consequences are 2 different things.
It's a consequence that Sales calls one of the harshest sentences for graffiti vandalism in Nueces County, and he hopes the teen tagger will learn his lesson this time around.
He's going to go to prison with the murders, the robbers, and the real gangsters. And so for this little kindergarten crime that they commit, now he better learn how to be a man real quick.
Melissa Schroeder, KRAS 6 News.
Now, Mirabal will be eligible for parole in 2 years, but prosecutor James Sales says he hopes the community will write to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and demand that Mirabal complete his full 8-year sentence.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Gazen.
And I'm Katuriarte. A 19-year-old graffiti tagger will go down in Nueces County history as sentenced to serve one of the longest jail terms for his crime to date.
Having caused thousands of dollars in graffiti-related damage over the last year and a half, Ralph Mirabal was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Rudy Trevino was in the courtroom for us today. Rudy?
The courtroom was packed with people who were victims to Miribal's vandalism. Vandalism he admitted in open court as part of his plea agreement. He stood emotionless as the prosecutor asked the judge to sentence him to prison.
Mr. Ralph Mirabal agrees to be guilty to the offense of graffiti. The punishment be assessed at 8 years in the Institutional Division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
You have damaged a lot of property here in Nueces County, and this, sir, is the consequence for the choices that you made.
Some property owners wrote to the court asking for justice. Others, like Beverly Randolph, a member of the All Saints Episcopal Church, which was vandalized by Mirabal, said forgiveness and consequences are 2 different things. Outside the court, other victims had more to say, like realtor Matt Clower, who says Mirabal and his tagging crew constantly vandalized many of his properties and signs, costing thousands of dollars to clean up. Even so, he says he feels sorry for him.
But on the other hand, I think if you don't do something like this, then they just laugh it off and think it's a big joke. It's not a big joke.
A lot of times these graffiti taggers just don't take it seriously. It's all a game to them. This is no game. Spending 8 years of one's life behind bars is serious business.
Mirabal was sentenced to 3 8-year terms for his charges, all to be served concurrently. He'll also have he'll have to pay his victims more than $5,000 for damages that he caused. Joe, got you?